लक्ष्मीं नृसिंहं शरणं प्रपद्ये। श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयाम्नमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजे कुमरुक्मव्यामोहत तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोः भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। ॐ अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीरङ्गनाथषडगोपैतीन्द्रदष्टुं लक्ष्मी नृसिंहशतीर्थकरुणैकपात्रं श्रीरङ्गवीररघुराट् षडगोपहृज्यं वेदान्तदेशिकयतीन्द्रमहं प्रपद्ये। श्रीमते श्रीवंशगोपश्रीवेदान्तदेशिकयतीन्द्रमः देशिकाय नमः। Is that clear, Amma?
Yes, Swamiji.
Why he is called Supreme Lord? Because nobody created him. He has no creator. And no other person controls him. He controls everyone. Natasya kaschit patirasti. Supreme Lord means there is nobody superior to him. He controls everyone. Likewise, the Shvetashvatara Upanishad also talks about only Bhagavan is called omnipotent. He is the one who knows everything. And the Jivatma is never omnipotent. Jivatma can never become Paramatma. Bhagavan is the one who grants the desires of everyone when you offer your prayers. The Supreme Lord Siman Narayana doesn't change when Prakriti changes. He is the intelligent one among all the intelligence. Nityo anityanam chetanaschetananam eko bahunam yo vidadati kamane. The unfortunate thing is people do not study the Upanishads and come to weird conclusions or give erroneous interpretations according to their own likes and dislikes. That both Jivatma and Paramatma are there in every body is there in the Mundaka Upanishad. That there are two birds on a tree, one the Jivatma, another the Paramatma. The soul, one bird is eating the fruits of the tree and the second one is not eating. It doesn't eat the fruits. The Jivatma inside a body is going through the karma phalam. Paramatma inside the Jivatma doesn't go through any karma phalam. Dva suparna sayuja sakhaya samanam vruksham parishasva jati tayor nayaha pippalam svadyatyanashnan anyo abhichakashiti. One is eating the fruits, another is not eating. All the Upanishads, Shvetashvatara, Brihadaranyaka, Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad says he created that and he entered it into it. He became Sat. He became Chetana, Achetana, Satya, Anruta. Tat Srishtva Tadeva Nupravishate. Bhagavan can create the Jivatmas and enter the Jivatma also, which is beyond our science. That is the relationship, that is the true knowledge, Bhagavan says. From our perspective, when you create a mosquito, you are so big, 6 feet tall. How can you enter a mosquito? Bhagavan created a mosquito. Inside the mosquito, he kept a soul, the living entity. And within the living entity, he enters a super soul. Because we means we have a physical body, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds like that. Bhagavan can be smaller than the smallest atom and bigger than the biggest mountain. Anoh aniyam mahato mahiyan. That is why a Jivatma can never become Paramatma. Only Paramatma can create a mosquito and send a Atma inside, and he himself can go inside the Atma as Paramatma. We, the human beings, cannot even create a mosquito, and we cannot enter that mosquito. ऋषिभिर्बहुधा गीतं छन्दोभिः विधे पृथक् ब्रह्मसूत्रपदश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितैः. So it is well established that Bhagavan Sri Krishna says that Bhagavan Sri Krishna is the Kshetrajna, one who knows every body and every Jivatma inside that body. All the great Maharshis have said the same thing. And all the Vedas in the different hymns are saying the same thing. And all logically reasoned people, conclusive documents prove from the Brahma Sutras also. Taittiriya Upanishad clearly says about the creation. Tasmadva etasmadhatmana akashas sambhutah akashad vayuhu vayuragnihi agnirapah adbhya prithvi prithivya voshadeh voshadebhyonnam annat purushah savayesha purusho narasamayah. Brahma Sutras. Na viyat ashnutehe ज्ञोत एव तथा च takshobhayadha. The creation comes only from Bhagavan. Even when a Jivatma attains salvation, you may have very many qualities similar to Bhagavan, but you can never become Bhagavan. 96% a Jivatma after attaining moksha will be the same as Bhagavan. Four things he can never have, even in Vaikuntham. A Jivatma can never become the husband of Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi will not come and sit on your chest. Only on Siman Narayana's chest she will sit to make that permanent, indelible impression Srivatsam. A Jivatma can never create universes like Bhagavan. And a Jivatma cannot give moksham to other Jivatmas like Bhagavan. Other than these four things, you will be exactly the same as Bhagavan Siman Narayana. Now Krishna says how the creation has started. Mahabhuta nyahankaro buddhiravyaktamev cha indriyani dasayikancha panchachendriya gocharaha. The Panchabhutas, after that the Tamas Ahankara, the intellect Buddhi, the Avyakta, the 10 senses, and the one, the mind, in addition to the 5 objects of senses. The 5 elements are Achetana, They are insentient. They are not conscious. The Panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And the primeval element is called Bhutadi, also called Ahankara. And that is of three types: Satvik Ahankara, Rajasic Ahankara, Tamasic Ahankara. Buddhi is also called Mahat. Avyakta is the Mula Prakriti. The 10 senses are the 5 Jnanendriyas, Tvak, Chakshush, Shrotra, Jikva, Ghranas, the skin that can feel, the eyes that can see, the ears that can hear, the tongue that can taste, and the nose that can smell. The 5 Karmendriyas, senses of action, the mouth that can talk, the hands that can work, the feet that can walk, the excretory organs and the reproductive organs. And the 11th one is the mind that controls all the 10 senses. These originate from the Satvik Ahankara. And corresponding to the 5 elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, there are 5 tanmatras, their corresponding qualities. If you look at earth, it has the smell. If you look at water, it has the taste. If you look at fire, you have the form. If you look at ether, it has the sound. If you look at air, it has the touch. These originate from the Tamas Ahankara. Rajas Ahankara doesn't produce anything. Ichcha, Dveshaha, Sukham, Dukkham, Sanghatas, Chetana, Dhrutihi, Etakshetram, Samasena, Savikara, Mudahrutam. Then we have these feelings: desire, hatred, pleasure, pain. And there are a lot of combinations of these things. They all add up to become the foundation for the Jivatma, for the soul. That is how the body becomes the support, substratum, adhruti, for the self to experience the good and the bad. Then, if you really want to know knowledge, Krishna is giving ama nittam madam vittam ahimsa kshantirajyavam acharyo pasanam shaucham sthairyamatma vinigraha. One should be very modest. Let there be no bragging about our achievements. Strict practice of ahimsa, non-violence, is very important. Greatest dharma is ahimsa. Ahimsa paramo dharma. One should be patient if you have to understand Atma and Paramatma. And one should have sincerity, straightforwardness. And one should serve an Acharya with all your heart and soul. Then only the Acharya can tell you the intricacies. And the purity. Purity means cleanliness in mind, speech, and the body. Physical purity alone is not enough. Purity in thought, purity in word, purity in action, and self-restraint. These are the qualities of a person who is acquiring knowledge. If you want to acquire spiritual knowledge, all these are essential qualities. Indriya desha vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityujara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam. Trying to attain knowledge, then try to get out of the desires. When desires are there, our knowledge becomes tainted, polarized. Try to control the senses and the sense objects. Try to control the ego of I and my popping up its ugly head in between. Realize how difficult it is to take birth again, to go through the Garbha Narakam. And once you take birth, then you have old age, diseases, and death. These are all the qualities of a person, a knowledgeable person. So he is trying to acquire knowledge about the soul and the super soul. If this knowledge is not there, people will keep on drowning themselves in the samsara sagaram and will keep on taking birth after birth, going through what is called Garbha Narakam. Come in. Going through Garbha Narakam. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to put some charge. Is it okay?
Where do you want to put it? Yeah, go ahead.
Google charge it, huh? Okay, thank you so much. So what I'm asking is, I see some people having the food in the dining that area.
I don't know who
And they said, Shriyas is telling, Swamiji said they already had 2 shots. It's okay to have the food there.
2 shots? I said they can come closer. I didn't say they can have food there. Ask them to go there. Who is having there?
That Jagannathan and one more.
Jagannathan did not have 2 shots.
But one more person.
Only one person he had.
No, I am not objecting to have the
I know,
food.
I know. But Jagannathan is always overdoing things. Last time also he did so many things.
We informed him now. Don't have the food here, Swami. We already put a notice here why you are having the food. Then he said like, but this room now, Vardarajan, we have decided.
The room is clean.
No, that room is still there something. So we are going to remove all the stuff from that room.
No, this man has gone. Did he tell you that Vardarajan is left? He didn't send the notice, even I asked.
We are not going to do any extension for him. I'm just keeping it to ourselves. So we don't need to inform to any priest, nothing. We will just tell him like, yeah, we will take care. But we will make use of the room now.
So that room you can ask for Partha to stay, because Partha is still.
Partha has to go away. You want him to stay here?
I don't know whether he wants to stay here or he wants to go there.
He can go back. He said he's just asking. He's saying like I'm asking because Narasimhacharya has to come from there, and for Parayanam I have to be here. Some reasons
we'll talk about it. Finish the class. Okay, surely. You'll be here for some time, right?
No, Swamiji, I'm leaving. I just came for doing darshan.
Okay, sure.
I will call and talk.
Sure.
But which room we are going to use, I want to know. Based on that, I need to clean
the same thing.
Vardarajan room, we can use it, right? For
ask that man. Partha first.
Partha is okay with the small room.
If Partha is there, ask him to come here for a minute.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, you want the classroom, so we can discuss later.
Okay. So now, if we are not aware of what happens to the Jivatma has to continuously go through the cycles of birth and death and birth and death. There is no point in our pretending ignorance. I'm not aware of it. Because in spiritual circles, ignorance is no excuse. And every one of us know that unless and until we attain salvation, we have no choice except to go through the repeated cycles of birth and death. And if you want to get out of that, Krishna is saying, Asaktihi anavishmangaha putradharakuhadishu nityancha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu. And as you develop lots and lots of interest in spiritual life, automatically you will be going away from the material attachments. When we are there attached to the children wife, house, money, wealth, we are more materialistic. We are more attached to Bhagavan, spiritual life, spiritual matters, Atma, Paramatma. Naturally, the priority. That doesn't mean religious people don't have families. If 90% of the time they are spending on spiritual matters, 10% of the time they spend on material purposes. That doesn't mean material people are not religious. If they are spending 90% of their time on material matters, they still spend 10% of their time in spiritual matters, but that is not enough. So, one should be able to understand and the difference between pleasure and pain. You want to attain knowledge for moksham, then develop detachment, non-attachment to anything and everything. That leads a person to understand what is soul, what is Paramatma. That is the reason why for a person who wants to go spiritually forward, they said three things are very important. Ishana Trayatyagam, Dhaneshana, Dareshana, Putreshana. Absolutely no attachment to money, family, and children. Because these are the three things. Attachment to money, spouse, and children. These are the three things that are there. Keeping a person in the samsara sagaram. When you develop attachment to Paramatma, these things will slowly fade away. And how they fade away and how do we get into that stage? Maicha ananya yogena bhaktihi avyabhicharini. First time Krishna is bringing the word, the bhakti should be without any vyabhicharitvam. Vivikta desha sevitvam artarjana samsadi. Now, avyabhichara bhakti, pativrata bhavam means exclusive and single-minded devotion to the Lord, to the Supreme Lord Sriman Narayana, who is the same as Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Sri Rama. And the more and more you attach yourself to Bhagavan, the more and more you become alone. The more and more you try to spend time with Bhagavan. Since you are there either in puja, meditation, reading, dhyanam, the family will also move away and away and away from you. Then Bhagavan, you become closer to Bhagavan. When you are there attached to material life, we are going away from Bhagavan. When you are attached to Bhagavan, material life goes away from you. And you are doing it to please Bhagavan. Therefore, you even avoid the crowds. This avyabhachara bhakti is the most important quality. Avyabhichara bhakti, unalloyed devotion, exclusive devotion only to the Paramapurusha. Then, of course, the Paramapurusha is called Nishkalo Niranjano Nirvikalpo Nirakhyataha Shuddho Deva Eko Narayanaha. సెన్సర్ వచ్చాడు వరదరాజన్ వెళ్ళిపోయాడు. ఇక్కడ ఉంటున్నావా అక్కడికి వెళ్తున్నావా ఉంటే ఈ రూమా ఆ రూమా ఇక్కడ ఒకటి వెళ్ళి వీళ్ళందరూ కూర్చొని హాల్లో తింటున్నారు. అక్కడ కూర్చొని డైనింగ్ చెప్పి ఒకసారి మాట్లాడు. నాకేం వచ్చేసిన లక్షణంగా ఉంటుంది. ఆ చిన్న రూమే చెప్పాను. అయితే అది క్లీన్ చేసి డైనింగ్ అందరికి ఇక్కడ పెట్టారు. ఇది వెండి పాత్రలు అన్ని లేవు కాబట్టి కొంచెం గ్లాస్ లో పెట్టారు. So, that exclusive devotion to Sriman Narayana is not an easy thing. That is why it is called Bhaktihi Avyabhicharini. If that Pativrata Bhava is not there, it is called Vyabhichara Bhakti. And everybody knows how a Pativrata is there confining only to one husband. only in that Pativrata Bhakti with no Anya Devata Samparkam. It is the hallmark of Pativrata Bhavam. That is why Mirabai says, Merito Giridhar Gopal. It doesn't stop there. Dusra na koi. When you say, I love my Lord Krishna, that is a necessary qualification. That is a necessary qualification to attain moksha, but that is not sufficient. When that loving devotion is followed by a second sentence, Dusra na koi, I do not have any attachment to any other Devi Devata, then only that is the sufficient condition for you to attain salvation. When you were there very young in your 10th grade, your math teacher might have told you necessary and sufficient conditions to prove the validity of a statement. Necessary condition, pure loving service to Bhagavan Krishna. That is necessary, but not sufficient. What is sufficient? I do not have any contact with any other Devi Devatas. Sufficient condition. That is why all Mahatmas have said, Anyadha Sharanam Nasti, Tvam Eva Sharanam Mama. Anyadha Sharanam Nasti. Anyadha Sharanam Nasti. I have nowhere else to go. Tvam Eva Sharanam Mama. Only when that kind of Pativrata Bhavam is there, we are eligible for salvation. So, from now onwards, 13th chapter, 14th chapter, 18th chapter, Krishna talks about Pativrata Bhavam. At least out of politeness and modesty, I'm using the word Pativrata Bhavam. Krishna is a very naughty child. He is very blunt. If you have contact with Anya Devata pujas in your puja room, he is simply calling it Vyabhichara Bhakti, that's all. That's not Pativrata Bhakti. He uses the most powerful word Vyabhichara Bhakti, indicating exclusive worship of Sriman Narayana or his Purnavataras like Narasimha, Rama, Krishna, Venkateshwara, Hayagriva, Dhanvantari, that's all. Any other contact with anything else is not Pativrata Bhava, is called Vyabhichara Bhakti, Krishna says. Adhyatmajnana Nityatvam Tattvajnanartha Darshanam Etajnanam iti proktam ajnanam yatadonyadha. If you are always there immersed in the wisdom regarding the self and the supreme self, and you focus all attention on the truth and nothing but the truth, and that Satyam is Bhagavan, that is called true knowledge. Anything contrary to this, anything who says all gods are the same, I can worship any god, I can worship any god and get Vaikuntham. Know what Krishna says? Ajnanam yatatonyatha. It is simply called ignorance. It is not true knowledge. Anything that contradicts Pativrata Bhakti, anything that contradicts Ahimsa, anything that contradicts Asaktihi Anavishvangaha Putradara Gruhadishu is just Ajnanam, he says. That is why Krishna in the 10th chapter said, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. The real knowledge is to know about the self and the super self. Rest of it is ignorance. What is ignorance? Simple example. A very small ant thinks it is equal to or greater than a mighty elephant. Ignorance. The soul, which is the size of an atom or smaller than an atom, if the soul is thinking, I am equal to or greater than Bhagavan, Sriman Narayana, ignorance. So, anything that is there contrary to what Krishna said is just ignorance. People are giving their own interpretations. Only the meaning, take it. That's why a little bit of knowledge of Sanskrit will help you. Sarvendriya gunabhasam sarvendriya vivarjitam asaktam savabhruchaiva nirgunam gunabhoktrucha. The pure self is there in all its splendor, with all the functions of the senses going on. But the Atma doesn't need the senses. The self supports all activities of the body. And even though the self doesn't have the Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, it will still experience the effects of all the gunas. And Bhagavan Sriman Narayana can be 1, 3, 500 million. He can be there in each and every Jivatma. Bhahirantascha bhutanam acharam charamevacha. That pure Jivatma is there, inside and outside of all the Panchabhutas. The pure Jivatma is very, very subtle. We can never comprehend on the nature of the Jivatma. If people don't have the modesty, non-egoistic, etc., they can never even understand the Jivatma. Avibhaktancha bhuteshu bhaktamavacha sthitam bhutabhartacha bhutagnyayam grasishnu prabhavishnucha. The pure self is not at all divided, but it appears to be divided among all the beings. It is an ignorant person who thinks a God soul is different, human soul is different, animal soul is different. Self is the same. Whether the soul is there in the body of a god or an animal or a tree or a human being, the soul is the same. And it is the Jivatma who supports all the elements. It is the Jivatma who helps digest all the food that we eat. And it is the soul that makes our body grow with blood, bones, etc. It is the soul that helps us to get children, sons, daughters. There is practically no difference at all in the essential nature of any self in any body. As Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, he is the one who digests all the food that we eat. As Vaishvanara, in the 15th chapter you will come across. Aham Vaishvanaro bhutva praninam deham ashtitaha pranapana samayuktaha pacham yannam chaturvidham. Bhagavan is the one supporting everything. Jyotishameva tad jyotihe tamasat paramuchyate jnanam nyayam jnanagamyam hrida sarvasya vishnitam. This individual self and the supreme self, That is the light of all lights. And that Supreme Lord is beyond the tamas, beyond the prakriti. And is known as knowledge. So, the self is a self-illuminated, means it has Swayam Prakashatvam. The self doesn't need any outside help. So this self will manifest in its form as a dharmi jnana, independent existence with knowledge. The self can reveal itself. The self is also having another property. It can reveal the external world. That's called dharma bhuta jnana. It is the self that is helping us to realize that the self is eternal, nature. It is very small in size, anu. That the self is always a servant of the Lord, Sesha. That Bhagavan is called Vibhu, Seshi, the Supreme Lord, and the one and the only one master of all souls and the Prakriti. Krishna says, Madbhakta etad vijnaya madbhavayo upavajjate. Anyone who realizes Bhagavan like this will certainly attain Bhagavan. Will certainly get out of the cycles of birth and death. And there is no end to the cycles of birth and death that we have to go through. Now Krishna says about the soul and the nature that they are eternal. In the 19th verse, Prakritim Purushan Chaiva Vijjanari Bhavapi Vikaramsha Gunam Shaiva Vidhi Pragdasambhavan. Prakriti, the Mula Prakriti with all the 5 elements. And the Purusha, the soul, they have no beginning. Anadi, one without a beginning. People ask, can you tell us how did we get our first birth? It is Anadi. It has no beginning. And that all the modifications of like desire, hatred, jealousy, these are the things that lead us to bondage and repeated births in the samsara. Whereas the positive qualities like modesty, no ego at all, ahimsa, will lead a jivatma to salvation, to liberation, to become a mukta. Now, when you look at the body, it is the material nature that causes the agency to the body, karyam. And the sense organs, that is the karana. The self is the cause of enjoying pleasure and pain. But we should understand even Prakriti is subservient to the Supreme Lord. Now, Krishna says, Purushaha Prakritisto hi bhunte pratajan gunane. Karanam guna sangosya sat asat yoni janmasu. This self is there sitting in the Prakriti. The self is there enjoying the three gunas. The self is there enjoying the three gunas born of Prakriti. Attachment to the gunas is leading us to birth in a good and evil womb. As Krishna says, in Sattva-guna we go upwards to become Devi Devatas. Rajoguna we remain as it is as human beings. Tamoguna we degrade ourselves to animals and plants. So let's be very careful in what kind of qualities we have. Now, what is the role of Bhagavan? That also he is defining. Upadrashta Animanta cha Bharta Bhukta Maheshwaraha Paramatmeri cha Pyukto Dehesmin Purushaparaha. The self in any body is designated by different names. The one who is willing that an action be done, one who is approving, one who is sustaining, one who is experiencing, one who is the Lord of the body. And one should understand there is Paramatma also inside the Jivatma. Anyone who can recognize the self, the Jivatma and the Prakriti along with the three gunas will not take birth again. You will know that you are not the body. You will not do anything that will imprison the body again, the soul again in another body. Whether we are there in the body of God or human being or animal or plant, if we can realize the Paramapurusha, we will never be born again. Because the self has no birth or death. It is the body that has birth and death. When the soul accepted a body, we are calling it birth. When the soul is leaving the body, we are calling it death. The soul is accepting the body because it has to go through the karma phalam. The soul is leaving the body because it has exhausted all the karma that it has to go through with that body. If you have more prarabdha karma, your soul will not leave the body. You have no more karma to go through with this. That doesn't mean you have exhausted all karma. The sanchita karma is still waiting there for you. Prarabdha karma only you have exhausted with this body that you are supposed to enjoy. Therefore, the soul is still attached to the body. Prarabdha karma is over, the soul leaves the body. The soul accepting the body, we are calling birth. The soul leaving the body, we are calling death. Dhyanenatmani pashyanti kechidatmanamatmanah Anye sankhena yogena karma yogena chapare. Some practitioners of yoga will realize the soul in the body through very serious meditation. Meditation requires a pure mind. A pure mind requires the pure food that we eat, the food offered to Bhagavan. Then only the purity of mind comes. And some others try to realize that self through Sankhya Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and some others through Karma Yoga. अन्ये त्वं जानन्तः श्रुत्वान्येभ्य उपासते तेऽपि चार्यन्ते वा मृत्युं श्रुतिपरायणाः. Some others, they will try to understand the nature of the soul and Paramatma through proper karma yoga. Some people are not qualified to practice karma yoga. They will offer worship, which is another form of meditation. Nishkama karma, doing all actions with no fruits, no desire for fruits. And anybody who is practicing, they will have self-realization. Now Krishna says, know the interrelationship between a Jivatma and the body. Yavat sanjayate kinchit tattam stavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna samyoga tadvidhi bharatarshabha. Come in. Come in. Nare.
Thank you, Swami. Swamiji, I'm leaving.
ரொம்ப லேட் ஆகிடுங்க. வீட்டில் இல்லை சௌக்கியம். அம்மா 1 second அம்மா, I'll come back and just some devotees are here. போதும் சுவாமி. I know, I forgot he belongs to Andavan Ashram. Because in Andavan Ashram, they have to keep on doing until the Acharya says stop.
Yes. I forgot.
No, in Ahobil Matam, they do only 4 times. Because otherwise, I thought we stopped. But then when he did stop, then I realized. Have some prasadam, Swami. Have some prasadam. Health and life. I had to have 2 shots.
Last time இதுக்கு வந்தேனா அப்போ வரல, ஏன்னா எனக்கு ஒரு ஷாட் தான் ஆயிருந்தது, உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது கொடுத்துருப்படாது.
Very good, Swami. Very good. Most probably by July 1st, we'll open the temple for everyone. Because we are hoping by then, everybody, at least 90% or 60% of the people will have taken the vaccination. So herd immunity will kick in. Because even the priests themselves are having the second shot only on April 20th. So until then till May 20th, they have to wait again for their 20 days again after the second shot. So then give a one more month to see the public also. Then everybody will have Tirtham Shatari, everything.
Very
back to them, because then September 1st we'll have the Brahmotsavam again with
okay. Very good.
So என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? அதுக்காக தான்
அவருடெல்லாம் திருவள்ளம் தாயார்
somehow we survived this whole year. That's all. You are still working?
No, I just retired.
What a relief.
It is a relief.
How are you? They're all okay. Children are all doing very good. Narayana. Now, Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattam stavara jangamam kshetra samyoga tadvidhi bharatarshabha. When the body and soul are coming together, the two kshetra and kshetrajna, together it is like a compound. They are never separate entities, only as together. There is a soul in every moving and non-moving objects. Non-moving, every tree and plant also has a soul. Then how come the soul is there sometimes in the body of a god, sometimes in the body of a human being or animal or a tree, depending on the karma phalam that we have to go through. We did the actions, we have to go through the consequences. Then people may say, then how come you are eating the plants? Remember, the Chetanatvam in a plant is there in a contracted state, not in an expanded state like in a human being or an animal. But even then, it is still a sin to hurt a plant. But when we offer that food made with the plant material to Bhagavan, when we offer, it is called food. After offering, Bhagavan will take away the sin portion of hurting the plant and turns the food into prasadam. Otherwise, killing an animal and eating, if it gives you 100 negative points, hurting the plant and eating the plant food will still give you 10 negative points. But when you offer that plant food to Bhagavan Krishna, he will remove even that 10 negative points and makes it prasadam so that you will not be tainted with any karma. Otherwise, as Krishna says, karma phalam we can never escape. That's why Krishna says, Yajna Sishtashana Santo Muchante Sarvakilpishaihi Bhunchate Te Tvagam Papa Ye Pachanti Atma Karana. Eat the food that is offered to Bhagavan, which is called prasadam. You are relieved of all karma. Eat the food without offering to Bhagavan. You are acquiring more and more sin. The choice is yours. Whether you want to acquire more and more karma without offering to Krishna, or you want to get rid of your karma and offer to Bhagavan and eat only prasadam. You have the full choice. Now Krishna says, Sam Sarveshu Bhuteshu Tishtantam Parameshwaram Vinashyatsu Vinashyatam Yap Pashyati Sapashyati. Bhagavan is the same to everyone. If a devotee has to realize Paramatma, one should have a clear knowledge that the soul is ruling over the body, that the soul is residing in a body, and every soul in every body is of the same nature. And a soul is never dead when the body is dead. And a soul is never born when a body is born. Soul is eternal. A soul in a human body in this life can accept an animal body in the next life, can accept a plant body in the next life. Can you think of any one example or a couple of examples, sir? Hello? Can you think of any example that the soul is the same? It transmigrates from one body to the other. Can you think of an example?
Jatavarta.
Jatavarta was a king first, King Bharata. Last minute he was attached to a deer. The same soul accepted the body of a deer in the next birth. Because of the intense meditation he did as the king in the previous life, even though his soul accepted the body of a deer, he still remembered the previous birth and was shedding tears. Quickly, he has come out of that soul, of the body of a deer, then became another human being again, the same soul. So we know a soul in a human body becoming an animal. Do you know anything else? Any other example? Any other example, Amma?
Indradyumna Maharaja became Gaja.
Indradyumna Maharaja became an elephant. Indradyumna Maharaja, the king of Panjadesha, was cursed by Agastya to become an elephant. Any other example that you can think of, Amma?
Ahalya Swamiji.
Yes, sir.
Ahalya.
Ahalya. Okay. That time she did not, she was cursed to be invisible, living only on air. So people say she became a stone. Okay. Not only Devi Devatas, even not only human beings, even Devi Devatas have to go through the karma. The same body, the same soul can accept a different body. I gave the clue. Can you think of anything?
Nahusha.
Akasura Swamiji.
Exactly. Nahusha, having done 100 Ashwamedha Yagas, was cursed. The same soul entered the body of a python. A python, a reptile, a snake. Indra, Nahusha, who became Indra, was cursed to become a python. So the same soul. Remember, Devi Devatas also having a soul. They are not Bhagavan. Any other example you can think of?
Kakasura.
Exactly. Another
Kakasura.
Indra's son Jayanta was cursed to become a crow. One time Indra was cursed to become a python. Another Indra's son was cursed to become a crow. Anything else you can think of, Amma? The same Jivatma can become. Exactly. Nalakubara and Manigriva. They are the two sons of Kubera, the god of wealth. His two sons, Nalakubara and Manigriva, were cursed to become trees. So could you see the same Jivatma? Even though it is there in the body of a god, it can become a snake, it can become a bird, it can become a tree. Human Jivatma, the Jivatma inside a human body. Just like Jadabharata, it became a deer in the next birth. Just like Indrajumna became an elephant in the next birth. Now, animal can also become a human being next time. The original King Bharata who became a deer, the deer in the next birth became Jadabharata. Same soul. Now you understand. A Devi Devata can become a snake or a bird or a plant. How can they give us moksha? Because they are not Bhagavan. That's what exactly we should know, the difference between a soul and a body. Samam pashyani sarvatra samvastitam ishwaram nainyasthatmanatmanam tato yati parangatim. If you can see the soul as the ruler of a body, but imprisoned in a similar way in every body, at every place, you will definitely be relieved of the birth and death, and you will attain the highest goal. What do you mean? If you can understand that the soul is different from the body, that the soul is there imprisoned in a body, and all souls are imprisoned in bodies, in every body, at every place, on the planet Earth, King Bharata became a deer. It can happen in this world. In Swargaloka, Indra was cursed to become a python. It can happen in Swargaloka. It can happen in the Gandharva Loka. Kubera's sons are cursed to become trees. It happened in Swargaloka. Indra's son Jayanta was cursed to become a crow. So everywhere it is the same. The soul is there imprisoned. You are a prisoner. Baddha Jivatma. Such knowledgeable people will not do anything to hurt the self. That means, what do you mean by hurting the self? When we took this birth, we got 1,000 more births waiting for us as Devi Devatas, human beings, animals, and trees. Now, we don't realize it, we don't do Sharanagati to wipe out that karma, but we do additional karma, and that 1,000 births we are increasing by taking this birth to 1,050 more births. Another birth, we are increasing that one to 1,200 births. There is no end to this. Therefore, don't do anything. Don't add highly inflammable gasoline to the already burning fire. Already we have 1,000 births waiting for us in the form of Sanchita Karma. Having taken this birth, you can do Sharanagati and wipe out the Sanchita Karma, and you don't have to take any more birth and get salvation. But you don't do that, you do further actions, and the 1,000 births waiting for you will become 1,050 births by your actions in this birth. So a learned person will not do anything to hurt the soul. Prakriccheva karmani kriyamanani sarvashah yapashyati chidatmanam agartaram sapashyati. You want to realize the self? Then realize that all acts in this universe are carried out by Prakriti, by the body. The individual self is imprisoned in that body. He is not the one doing anything. All actions are done by the Prakriti. Prakriti is a cause of agency to the body, and the 5 organs of jnana and the 5 organs of action, and one mind that controls the 10 senses. One has to understand that the self is of the form of pure knowledge. Bhagavan is of the form of pure bliss, Ananda Swarupa. Jivatma, Jnana Swarupa. Yadha bhuta pragadbhavam ekastamanu pashyati tadeva ca vistaram brahma sampajyate tada. When you are able to realize that changes in the body, like childhood, youth, old age, and death, they are all due to Prakriti, body, and their expansions are also coming from that one single Prakriti. Then you will be able to attain that Supreme Lord. The soul can reach Paramapadam. The soul can reach Sri Vaikuntham, where you will have the true knowledge that the soul is an eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. That the soul is a servant, Sesha, servant of Bhagavan, Sriman Narayana, who is called Seshi, the Master. Anaditvat Trigunatat Paramatmayam Avyayah Sharirastopi Kaunteya Nakaroti Nalipyate. This is another wonderful verse for the people who are practicing, serious meditation and dhyanam to know about the self. Krishna says, Paramatma, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, identically the same as Sriman Narayana, who is superior to and master of both Chit and Achit, Chetana and Achetana, Purusha and Prakriti, souls and Prakriti, that he is residing in every human, in every Atma as Antaryami, that he is immutable, he is Avyaya, he is without a beginning, Anadi, and he is not having any gunas, and that Bhagavan is not doing anything nor will get tainted by being in the body. Krishna may be in the body of a small baby, but as a 1-month-old baby, even he could kill Putana. Bhagavan Krishna may be in the body of a small child, a 1-year-old one, but he could show Vishwarupam to his mother. Therefore, Bhagavan will not be tainted by karma. Bhagavan killed Putana. Will he get papam? No. He did his job, that's all. Same thing, Rama killed Ravana. Will he get Brahmacharya dosham? No. Anaditvat gunatvat paramatmayam avyayah sharirastopi kaunteya nakaroti nalipyate. Therefore, Bhagavan doesn't get any karma. Like Rama killed Ravana, he got Brahmacharya dosham. No, they have not studied or understood the real concept of Krishna, the incarnations. When the Atma is of the Jnana Swarupa, Bhagavan is of Ananda Swarupa. That's why they say Anando Brahmeti Vyanati. Then you may say the soul is in the body, Paramatma is also in the body. So whatever karma the body has, the soul and Paramatma should also have. Even that is not correct, Krishna says. Yatha sarvagatam sophya takasham nopalipyate sarvatra vastito dehe tatatma nopalipyate. Look at Akasha, ether. Ether is there, all pervading, but it is not tainted, because ether is very, very subtle in nature. Same way, even though the soul is there residing, imprisoned to go through the karma phalam in a body, and it is pervading the whole body, the soul is not tainted. The only thing, it has to go through the karma phalam, that's all. Why? Because the soul is having the jnanam to pursue the path of Avyapachara Bhakti and get salvation, or get attached to material activities and get birth after birth after birth. The soul is much more subtle than ether. Say, for example, some plant is there in a crematorium, nice mango tree. People will say, don't eat that mangoes, man. That mango tree is tainted with all the smoke from the crematorium. Okay. But there is sky, there is air that we are breathing. In crematorium also there is air. Did we stop breathing air because it is there contaminated by the crematorium? It is very subtle. A tree is not subtle. The elements are very subtle. Ether is there, all pervading. Whether the ether is there over a crematorium or in a park, ether is the same. We don't say the wind in a park is better than the wind in a crematorium. Wind is the same. Same way, Bhagavan, when he accepts a body, nothing can contaminate him. That is why the other day I was telling that some people, local Puranas, Sthala Puranas created Rama killed Ravana, got Brahmacharya dosham, did Shiva Pratishta, Rameshwaram, etc. Not even one word in Ramayana. Because Valmiki is a Mahatma. He will never give rise to this kind of things that Bhagavan has got karma and he has to get rid of karma phalam. No, no way. It is the local artists who create this kind of stories. Yatha prakashyat chekah krishnam lokam ravihi kshetram kshedi tada krishnam prakasheti bharata. If you look at one sun, is there enough to illuminate the whole world? One sun, the whole world is illuminated. Same way, the soul illuminates the whole body. When you say you are alive, you are alive in your head, in your hands, in your feet, in everything. Because the soul is pervading the whole body. When we are dead, when the soul leaves the body, we are dead. We are not just dead in the hands or feet or anything. Our whole body is dead. Therefore, just as one sun can illuminate the whole world, just one soul can pervade the whole body and make it alive, or the soul can leave the body and make the body dead. Try to know the difference between the soul and the body. You are not the body. What relevance this has got that you are not the body? People will say, oh, I want to do Sharanagati, but my Kula Devata I have to worship. Kula Devata, that Kulam is for the body, not for the soul. Now you tell me, Indra is the king of heavens. He belongs to the class of Devatas. But when he became a python, the same soul became a python. Does the python also belong to Devatas now? Bharata was a king, became a deer. Can Bharata say, I am the king? Yes. Can the deer say, I am the king? No. The most important aspect is soul is not the body. Soul is there occupying the body only to go through the karma. Kshetra kshetrajya samyogat kshetra kshetrajyorevam evam antaram jnana chakshusha bhuta prakriti mokshancha ye vidur yanti te param. You want to attain salvation? Good. Very simple. Attain knowledge. Develop jnana netram. Know the difference between a body and the soul. Kshetra and kshetrajna. Kshetra, the field is called the body. Kshetrajna, one who knows the field. Kshetrajna is the soul. And the means of liberation from Prakriti. The means of liberation, either pure Bhakti Yoga or Sharanagati. Only these two can help you to attain salvation. Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga by themselves are not direct highways for moksha. They are the service roads. They must come and merge either in Bhakti Yoga or in Sharanagati Yoga. Why not I go for Bhakti Yoga? Go ahead. Go to an Acharya, get Upadesham of Brahma Vidyas and do the Upasana. Can't do it. It will take thousands of years. Your lifetime is not enough. Just go to an Acharya and do Sharanagati. Krishna says, Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami maschaha. Why are we taking birth again? Because we have to go through the karma phalam. When you do the Sharanagati, Krishna says, Aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami. All your karma is there, deleted. Am I guaranteed moksham? Yes. But with only one condition. If you do anything to ruin your Sharanagati, the same Krishna who deleted your karma can undelete your karma and put it back in your account. So how to avoid undeleting button? Practice Pativrata Bhakti. What will happen if there is no Pativrata Bhakti? At the time of Sharanagati, whatever karma is deleted, Krishna presses the button undelete, and all that Sanchita karma is put back into your account. Therefore, the concept of kulam, etc., doesn't apply to the soul. It is the soul that gets moksha. The concept of my Kuladevata is different. How can I do Sharanagati? You are still talking about the body. The body doesn't get salvation. The soul gets salvation. That is how Bhagavan Krishna very clearly says, do Sharanagati and maintain Pativrata Bhavam, as it says, Bhaktihi Avyabhicharani, and get guaranteed admission to Vaikuntha. That is how Bhagavan Sri Krishna is concluding this chapter called Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga. So, when you look at anybody, do not look at them as a body. Try to look at them as a soul. Then you have no problem at all in accepting everything. Go ahead, sir. Quickly ask your question, sir. Today, Ranganath has birthday. They are still waiting for me. I had to go upstairs. Go ahead, Amma. But I have time for all your questions. Go ahead, sir. Dilip, sir.
Yeah, so Narayana Swami, I just have a quick question to understand.
Narayana Swamiji,
Like,
there are a few questions today.
Go ahead, Dilip. Go ahead.
yeah, when we talk about the soul and the body, and to understand whatever we're doing, like our karma in terms of by mind or by the words or by the action, that's we're doing for the body, not for the soul. So how do we get the reaction on that?
You are driving a car at 90 miles per hour. The driver is driving a car at 90 miles per hour. The policeman stops. You are innocently asking or cunningly asking the question, okay, officer, why did you stop me? Did I make any mistake? You know you are speeding. The cop will say, no, sir, you are going at 90 miles per hour. I had to stop you and you had to pay a heavy fine. Can you say, sir, look at me, I'm sitting, I'm not going. It is the car that is going. I'm only sitting in the car. Car is going. I'm not going at 90. You said I'm going at 90. I'm not going, I'm sitting. Yes, it is the car that is rolling on the road at 90 miles per hour. But it is the driver who gets the ticket and he is the driver who pays the fine. The body is doing all the actions. It is the soul who has absolute control over the senses, not to make a mistake and not to go through the punishment. You are not doing that. The soul has to pay a heavy price for that. Okay. Tomorrow, at least today, you are in the car, you are getting a ticket. So even though car is going at 90, you paid the ticket. Tomorrow, you parked the car in a no parking area. You got another ticket. You don't have to be inside the car. As long as the car is there under your control, you still have to pay for all the mistakes that happened through the body. Okay, you junked the car or you sold the car. After a couple of years, you are caught by the police for something else. But when he says, hey, 4 years back, you got a ticket, we did not pay. Now I'm going to confiscate this car, or you have to pay, otherwise I will not allow you to go. You cannot give the excuse, I sold that car, I junked it, I don't want to pay. Even if you sell the car or even if you junk the car, you are still liable to pay all the penalties that you owe to the government when you are the owner of the car. Even if you change the body, the soul is still responsible for all the actions it did with the previous body. Positive actions, positive reactions. Negative actions, negative reactions. Is that clear, sir?
Yes, Swamiji, thank you, Narayana.
Yeah, car is moving at 90, but the driver pays the ticket. Car is parked in no parking area. Driver has to pay the ticket. You sold the car. but still you are liable for the mistakes that happen with the car when it is under your control. The soul is the lord of the body. Whatever consequences, soul has to go through. Sanchita karma, soul has to go through. You can do Sharanagati and wipe all that karma to zero and attain salvation. Don't do Sharanagati and already the existing 1,000 births, you can add more karma in this birth and make them another 50 more, 1,050 births, your choice. You were asking something, what's her name? Mala?
Yeah, so, Swamiji, there are a couple of questions today. Should we do it today or next week?
No, go ahead. Let's see quickly.
Okay, there is why did Krishna create other gods like Shiva and Durga if he is the Supreme Lord? Why does he say surrender to
Very
me?
good, very good, very good, very good, very good. We are in America. There is a President Biden for the whole country. What is the need for a vice president? There are other jobs allocated for the vice president. Okay, president and vice president are doing their job. Why do you need 50 state governors? There are some other jobs, their job description is different. Okay, president is there, vice president is there, governors are there. But why do you need all the mayors for every city and village? Their job description is different. The job description of mayors is different. Job descriptions of governors are different. Job description of senators are different. Job description of vice president is different. Job description of president is different. So, in the administration of all the universes, just as American government say has 1 million employees, government employees, I'm just giving an estimate, say 1 million employees or even more. Same thing in the kingdom of God to take care of the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of all the universes. There are 33 crores, 330 million Devi Devatas are there. In the empire of God, in the empire of Lord Sriman Narayana, some Devi Devatas are mayors, some Devi Devatas are state assemblymen, some Devi Devatas are governors, some Devi Devatas are federal government, Congress members, some Devi Devatas are the senators in the kingdom of God. Some Devi Devatas are Secretary of State, Secretary of Health, Secretary of Labor. Some Devi Devatas are Vice Presidents. And Bhagavan is beyond the category of Devatas, and he is called Bhagavan. So that is how the different Devi Devatas are created, because they have a job description. You got it, Amma?
Yes, Swamiji. Next question is, why does he say surrender to me? It sounds like he's selfish or egoistic. How do we understand this?
When the mother tells her child, don't put your finger in the fire, it will burn your finger. Is the mother egoistic or selfish? No. The mother is trying to help the child. Bhagavan is trying to help us. Bhagavan is trying to help every Jivatma to attain salvation. If only we follow the word of the Lord as given in the scriptures, as given in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras, Dharma Shastras, we will not have any problem at all. That is where we misuse the individual degree of freedom we have, Swatantriyam, and get into trouble. Does that answer your question, Amma?
Yes, Swamiji.
Go ahead, sir. What's the next question?
Next question is, if we get the body and life per karmas, then should we stop trying? Anything we are destined to, it will come automatically anyways.
That much is sure. Just as difficulties are coming without our asking. Nobody prayed, Krishna, give me a car accident today. People have car accidents today. Nobody prayed, Krishna, give me cancer. People are getting cancer today. Nobody says, Krishna, give me a nice coronavirus. People are getting affected. Just as negative things are happening when they are due, have faith in Bhagavan. Positive things will also happen when they are due. Then what we should do? Use all your intelligence to understand Bhagavan and try to attain a great place, going where you never have to come back and go through Garbhanarakam. That's how we should think of. Go ahead, ma'am.
Shimanarana, next question is, if he is the creator who has the power to control, then why he didn't control the thinking of praying to other devatas?
Bhagavan has given every Jivatma the degree of freedom. Even after teaching the whole Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan is not a dictator. Bhagavan is our well-wisher. Bhagavan is our guide. Bhagavan is our friend. He is not a dictator. If Bhagavan says, no, you must do this, you'll call him a dictator, which he is not. That is why for every Jivatma, Bhagavan has given the degree of freedom. Swatantrayam. We use the Swatantrayam to think our own way and get into trouble. We use Paratantrayam. Means, Krishna, I have no separate opinions of myself. Whatever is your opinion, I'll go by that. Paratantrayam. So Bhagavan is the most merciful one, who is interested in giving us this body only to attain salvation. But we should not use it for a negative purpose. Suppose somebody asks a question. Your razor blade is invented to have a clean shave so that your face looks good. They did not invent the razor blade for cutting somebody's throat. They did not invent the razor blade to do pickpocketing. But people misuse it afterwards. The razor blade, which is meant for a clean shave, is misused by somebody to cut somebody's throat, is misused by somebody to do pickpocketing. Same thing here too. The degree of freedom we're all misusing. That's why at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, having taught Bhagavad Gita Arjuna, he never said, Arjuna, you must do Sharanagati. He said, Arjuna, I have given you 4 yogas, Jnana, Karma, Bhakti, Sharanagati. Do whatever you want. I have given you Devi Devata worship, you go to Devaloka. Preta, Bhuta Preta Prishacha worship, you will go to Ganaloka. Pitrudevatas worship, you go to Pitruleka. You worship me exclusively, you will come to me. Come to me, you will not have birth. Go to Devi Devatas, you will have birth. So, Krishna has given very clearly. Does it explain your question, ma'am?
Yes, Swamiji. Next one is, I have learned that all 3 devatas, Trideva, are equal and have similar significance in regulating the universe in different roles. Please explain.
Well, Vedas say Narayanat Brahma Jayate, Narayanat Rudro Jayate, Narayanat Indro Jayate. When a qualified Jivatma is there, Sriman Narayana will appoint him as Brahma, will appoint him as Rudra, will appoint him as Indra. If no qualified candidate is available, if If a Jivatma is not qualified, Narayana himself will take additional charge of creation, additional charge of dissolving. When a suitable candidate is there, Bhagavan will give that job to that particular Jivatma. Therefore, why did he create all the gods? Because they have a purpose. Not every, it is almost like asking a question. We are in America. Everybody knows Harvard, MIT, Yale, Princeton, Stanford. They are the best universities. Question, why did they start state universities, Stony Brook, Rutgers, etc.? Okay, state universities are there. Why did they create community colleges? Something is better than nothing. Okay, only the top 5% or 1% get admission to Harvard, MIT, Yale, or Princeton. What about the remaining? Okay, if you cannot come to the highest level, at least go to a college of your level, state universities. Even that you don't qualify. All right, basically you need some education, go to a community college. An ignorant person doesn't know anything. You got a degree, oh my God, you got a degree from America. An educated person will know from where you get your degree, sir. Then he knows how smart you are, or how average you are, or where you got your degree based on that. Same thing. Devi Devatas are created for those who do not have the inclination for salvation. Devi Devatas are there to satisfy the needs and necessities of Jivatmas. So that's why they pray to them. Why should Bhagavan create the Devi Devatas? Without them, where will these people go? They become atheists. If every college has to be MIT, then why state universities? Because without them, they become criminals. Same thing here. Go ahead, Mom.
From childhood, we have been taught and are following and praying Ganesha, Shiva, Shakti. How can we stop suddenly? We feel guilty.
Okay. Mala, when you are a child, your whole world is your father, your mother, your brother, your sister, your house, your property, and everything. For the past 20 years from your childhood, you are so attached to those people. Father, mother, brother, sister. But when you got married, did you not leave your father, mother, brother, sister, and came with your husband to live with him? Did you feel guilty? That is just one phase of your life. One phase of your life. There is a different phase to your life other than with father and mother. So you moved up to the next phase. You did not feel guilty after marriage that you left your father and mother? So that is not a reasonable way to think. Second thing, we were all there in the high school. We did 10 subjects. English, maths, physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, history, geography, art, craft, 10 subjects with equal weightage. But when you came to college, you started a major and a minor. Did you feel bad that you left 9 subjects and you are focusing only on one subject? You went to the next stage of learning, where you want to go deeper and deeper into the subject of your choice, major. But sometimes a minor may also help. But after that, you came to university, you are doing masters in only one subject. Did you feel bad you left minor in the college? After your university, you went to do your PhD. But in masters in your chemistry, you did organic, physical, nuclear, analytical chemistry, everything. But when you went for PhD, you are doing your PhD only in nuclear chemistry. Do you feel guilty you left organic chemistry, inorganic, analytical, and some other chemistry? You are going deeper and deeper into the subject. You have to accept new realities. New realities. What is the new reality? Mala, when she was a child, father and mother, brother and sister are the only reality. But after some time, husband is the new reality. When you entered a new reality, the old realities you left. You got married, you got children. Your whole world has changed. When you were a child, your father and mother is your whole world. When you got married, your husband or this wife is the only world. When you got children, everything else went into the background. Children are the only world now. Are you feeling guilty? No. You are entering into a better phase in your life. Same thing here. Right from childhood. Fine. In the high school, I also did 10 subjects. But when I came to college, I only selected physics and became chemistry minor. But when I went to masters, I did only physics. But when I did PhD, I did only in nuclear physics. There are so many physics branches. Do I feel guilty? No. Why feel guilty? In 10th grade, we did 10 subjects. That's fine. That is acceptable at that level. You want to stop at 10th grade level? No problem. Nobody is forcing you. You be happy with your 10 subjects, but that will not give you PhD. That will not give you salvation. You want to go to the next level of learning, then start focusing on what is your goal. Same thing. Does it make sense to you, Mala?
Yes, Swamiji. Do we have time? It's 4 o'clock, or should we continue or next?
Go ahead. What is the question, Amma?
It is similar, but the question is at a high level. Shiva, Narayana in incarnation of Rama worshipped Lord Shiva. In Rameshwar, Jyotirlinga was formed by Lord Narayana. How come Narayana tells devotees to only worship him? And on similar lines, Shiva declares Narayana as his Aradhya, and vice versa. Narayana says Lord Shiva is his Aradhya. Then why we need to choose one over the other?
Very good, sir. These are all there in the Ramananda Sagar movies or TV serials we have seen. Please read Valmiki Ramayana. Narayana incarnating as Lord Rama never did Shiva Pratishta in Rameshwaram. Not even one word is there in Valmiki Ramayana. Sthala Puranas have written these stories. After killing Ravana in Valmiki Ramayana, Rama took a non-stop flight from Sri Lanka to Ayodhya. Only on the request of Sita Devi that let the ladies be picked up also, Jambavan's wife, Sugriva's wife, etc. The flight made an emergency landing in Kishkindha, got new passengers again into the flight and flew. Just before reaching Ayodhya, Rama remembered 14 years back on his way to the forest, he spent a day with Bharadwaja Maharshi and he requested, Rama, in your return also, please come and spend a day with me. Rama remembered that and landed in Bharadwaja's ashramam. But by the next day, if Rama is not in Ayodhya, Bharata will immolate himself. So Rama sent Hanuman to Ayodhya to console Bharata not to jump in and confirm to Bharata that Rama is on his way, held up in Bharadwaja's ashramam, but will come tomorrow, don't jump into the fire. Valmiki has given this many details, but not even one word about Rameshwaram Shiva Pratishtha. That is not right. And in the movies, people say that Narayana's heart is Shiva, Shiva's heart is Narayana. They are only talking to 10th grade students. Those films, those messages are meant for the general public, not for the people who want to seek salvation. Just as 10 subjects are there in the syllabus for high school students, only one major and one minor for college students, only one major for postgraduate students, only one branch of a subject for PhD students. Same thing. Yeah, come in. So that's how you have to understand. We cannot base our, serious pursuit of Vaikuntha Prapti with textbooks that are meant for 10th grade or information that is there meant for college level. You have to go deeper and deeper into the source of the material. Then your perspective will completely change. If that is not palatable to them, if you stop your studies with the 10th grade or high school, you will still be under the impression atoms are indivisible. That's all. Atoms are indivisible in 10th grade. That's all. You come to college, you will be taught atoms are divisible. You come to university, even subatomic particles are divisible. You come to PhD, only electromagnetic forces are there. They don't teach everyone is a student of chemistry. But somebody with a 10th grade background, somebody with a college level background, somebody with PhD level background. So the knowledge differs. The textbooks differ from 10th grade to PhD level. Same thing here too. Go ahead, ma'am.
What does mumukshu mean?
Moksha means getting out of the cycle of birth and death and birth and death. Every time you take birth, you have to go through the Garbha Narakam. Moksha literally means taking birth is again the most horrible thing. In between old age, diseases and death. And there is no guarantee we become a human being next time. When you look at a cat, you say nice cat. When you look at a parrot, you say nice parrot. But when a spiritual person looks at it, poor Jivatma did so much of karma and degraded into an animal. Poor soul had so much of karma, became a bird. Perspective changes. Okay? You got it, Amma?
Yes, Swamiji.
Salvation means no more birth, no more death, no more diseases, no more old age, enjoying eternal bliss in the presence of Bhagavan, your divine parents. For practical purposes, for Mala's mother and father are parents to the body. For the soul of Mala, Mahalakshmi is the mother and Narayana is the father in Vaikuntham. So, in the coordinate system, if you are there in the body coordinate system, father and mother are different. If you are drawing a different coordinate system of the soul, then your physical mother and father have no existence there. Your spiritual mother and father only exist there. So the coordinate systems are different. Okay, Mala?
Yes, Swamiji.
Narayana. We'll continue next week, Amma, 14th chapter, Narayana.
Thank you, Swamiji.